We have entered a new phase with silver's price that could reverse very quickly once new data are published. We'll talk about that and what some of the targets we should be looking for. I'll talk about it all in this video as we explore. You know, silver's price in this direction, many people are feeling very bullish once we saw it reach over $41 an ounce, and I'm bullish too. I'm still bullish, even though it's now surpassed my previous target. But nonetheless, we have to take a look at reality, and this always happens every single time. What I talked about when it first occurred last night, I was really on the front end of it when we started to see this correction. And this new correction phase is something that we could see extended. But it all really hinges on what's going to be happening tomorrow. Or as you're seeing this video, very well could be today. But nonetheless, this is how quickly things can change, and it really boils down to what the prognosticators are thinking, how the markets react. It's emotion that drives a lot of these markets. But we are seeing silver extend its previous day's pullback, really hours for earlier. We started to see this yesterday in the vicinity of the mid-41s. In fact, as I record this video, we can see that silver has pushed back a little bit to back up above 41, but we're not quite there yet. It is now trading at $40.74. It's down almost 50 cents a day. It's down to $48, or $40.74 rather. Boy, $48 that's a Freudian slip. It'd be nice to see that, but that's a 1.17% decrease. Its high today was $41.26. Its low today was $40.35. Gold is also pulling back as well, but not as much. It's still well above the record high of $3,550.40. Platinum has dropped the most today. It's down over 3%. Palladium is down almost 2%, and rhodium has pulled back $250, down 3.5%. So all the metals that got hit today, everything is in the red for sure. And times like this is a good time. If you're in the market to buy, you look at the dips like this, and that's a good time to get in. My friends at Summit Metals, well, they have silver for sale and great customer service if you want to buy silver from them, or if you need to sell or want to take profits on some of your stack, you can check their prices out. They have them posted right there on the Sell to Us tab on their page, and if you email them or contact them, and they will give you a better price if you mention my name, Salivate Metal or Uncle Sal or Sal. Any of those will work, and you'll get better prices there. A lot of people don't know are aware that some of these bullion dealers will buy your silver from you. I discourage people from selling too much. I talked about that in this morning's video, which I hope you will check out. But if you do need to do it, Summit Metals is there, and they will give you a competitive price on your silver or gold or platinum as well. But so we're seeing this happen. We've seen 14 years high. This is the highest level since September of 2011 when we saw silver breach that $41 mark, and attracts heavy selling. And we saw that happen overnight. And during the Asian session on Thursday, the silver now seems to have snapped a 5-day winning streak and currently trades around this $40.75 region, which is down over 1% for the day. Now, from a technical perspective, the intraday decline could be attributed to some profit taking following the recent sharp move up witnessed over the past 2 weeks or so, and slightly overbought conditions on the daily chart. But the week's breakout through the previous year-to-date high and a subsequent strength beyond $40, which psychological marks favors bulls for the U.S. dollar. Now, looking at the U.S. dollar index, which we kind of use to gauge what's going on, it is actually up, and so it's up slightly, 0.16% to 98.3, still below 100, well below 100, and that is kind of what we look to gauge what's going on here. The further slide is more likely to find decent support around the $40.40 mark, representing a 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. which is the upswing that we saw from the August 20th low, if you're looking at it from a technical analysis point of view. Some follow-through selling might expose a $40 mark, which should act as a key pivotal point. Indeed it is. That's one of the targets we want to watch, is how long we can stay above $40 an ounce. Folks, $40 is extremely significant for silver in terms of where we're at right now, and holding above it for as long as we have is pretty amazing, and tells us something that silver indeed is competitive in this area. $38 was the previous amount before. But so that's what's happening here. Now, on the flip side, the $41 round figure now seems to be an immediate hurdle, above which the dollar could climb back towards challenging the multi-year peak around the $41.45 region that we touched on Wednesday. And you think about it, that we're a long ways off from that. But hey, tell you what, it doesn't take a whole lot to turn it around pretty quickly. What could we see it happen for that to occur? Well, the employment data that's coming out. The employment data will be coming out tomorrow. And so if that comes in under expectations, in other words, there's higher unemployment than expected or less employment than expected, that's going to bolster the case for the Federal Reserve to cut rates. And right now, it's a very, very high probability when that meeting happens in September, September the 17th, rather. But the Fed Watch tool is what we use to kind of gauge where market participants feel it's happening. And right now, it's still at a very high probability rate, more so than ever before, that we're going to see a quarter-point rate cut. That's right. 97.3% believe that it's going to happen, and only 2.7% believe it's not going to happen. So if the employment numbers come in weaker, well, that's going to move it up even more. And then we're going to be looking at what they're going to do at the next couple of meetings. These next couple of meetings are going to be crucial to see what's going to be happening. I think in a way we're seeing a lot of the price baking in from subsequent meetings, like the 29th of October Fed meeting, which now sees that they're going to see a further rate cut, and 56.2% believe it's going to be, a quarter point more than where it is now. So in other words, 2 quarter-point rate cuts in the next 2 sessions, and then we move ahead to the next meeting in the 10th of December, and we see it where just barely over the majority believe it's going to be yet another rate cut. So 3 quarter-point rate cuts before the end of the year, and that is being baked in right now, and that is bullish for silver's price and gold as well. Gold trading an all-time high is being propped up by silver. So we'll see what those numbers mean, which means that we could see a turnaround, and we could see it either hold on to where it is right now and no smackdown on Friday, and or we could see it potentially climb back up above $41 again, breaching that $41 mark again. A reversal of what we're seeing here. But profit taking is part of the game that's played with the precious metals markets, and it's something we should take into account and consider. You can blame it on suppression, price suppression, manipulation, or you can just blame it on profit taking. And what moves the silver price is what occurs in those markets, in the ETFs, and that is really what's going to be driving it. In terms of the physical, well, that it's a weird market these days, where we're finding low premiums, fairly low premiums, especially in constitutional, but even on other products, and low buyback prices, which is why you should shop around if you're going to be selling. But like I said, it's a good idea to hold on to, and it's also a good idea, as I've mentioned time and time again, to have some of these on hand so that you can weather the storm through situations like that when it is a buyer's market and not a seller's market. If you're selling silver, you're hurting right now, especially in the physical form. It's tough. It's a tough market out there. So that's why it's always good to protect and insulate yourself from such a case and a situation like what we find ourselves in now. So I hope you will watch the video I posted this morning about selling silver. You should watch that before you sell a single ounce or tenth of an ounce And that's the world we live in. Things are changing. You got to be agile with the markets, folks. I've been paying attention to the markets for a long time, and not only the markets that affect the price, but also the markets that really matter whenever you go to buy and sell your silver. I've seen a lot happen over the years, and a lot of it even within the last couple of years, since 2021, the original, quote, silver squeeze movement. And what's happening now is exactly the opposite of what has happened back then. And back then, you saw a glut. There was a lot of silver out there, contract-sized bars that you could get and find it anywhere. Nowadays, those are tougher to find, and there's a squeeze, a true squeeze there. But back then, it was tough to buy silver. They couldn't keep it in stock. They were selling at record pace. And silver eagles and precious metals of all sorts, but mainly silver. It was very, very tough to come by, so you were paying extremely high premiums, inflated premiums. It was not the time to buy eagles back then. I was discouraging people to do it. And even now, eagles, some of the premiums have come back, but they're still fairly high. So you have to figure out and you have to navigate the marketplace and keep up with the trends and what's happening and where premiums are high and where they are low. And whenever you go to buy or sell based off of spot price. So there you have it. There's your market report for today. Keep an eye on $40 silver. If we can sustain that with a close above $40 tomorrow, and by the way, that would mean that if we saw another 1% drop tomorrow, we'd still be above $40 an ounce. And that's a good thing. And if we could close the weekend there and see what happens on Sunday night when the markets open back up, and we can hold on to it and recapture 41 or recapture high into the 40s, then we're doing pretty good. I think we're doing very, very good if that's the case. I'm bullish on silver, but I believe in it more than just for its price. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.